subscribe to
Beard Bird Studios.
Beard Bird Studio க்கு subscribe பண்ணுங்க.
அந்த படத்தை பார்க்க லட்சம் பேர் இருக்கும்போது நடிக்க 4 பேர் இருக்கதானே செய்வாங்க. ஆனா பார்க்கறவங்கள விட்டுட்டு நடிக்கிறவங்கள மட்டும் தப்பா பேசுற உலகம் இது.
Hi Sahara Knite, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm doing well. Just been keeping busy.
Yeah, okay. Tell about yourself and your family.
So my parents are from Gujarat.
Okay.
So you know Gujarat, Gujarati.
Yeah.
But yeah, both my parents are Gujarati. I was born in England, so British, but so I'm Indian. People always say I'm Pakistani, but no, Indian, full and full Indian. Yeah. I'm 45 at the moment. Well, 45. I've been working in the adult industry since 2004. I started in 2004. I worked through to 2009. Then I took quite a long break. Did some mainstream TV stuff, Game of Thrones, some other things, and then I came back to doing porn in 2018, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. As you mentioned, you acted in Game of Thrones.
So where else would you? Oh yes, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's very much popular in India also. Tell about that
Is
experience.
it very big in India?
Yeah.
So I was in Game of Thrones for I had about 4 episodes, all adult episodes. You know, take your clothes off, naked episodes. It's okay. So yeah, I did Game of Thrones in 2011 and 2012, which was fun. One of the scenes was in Malta, and the other scenes were in Belfast, where it just rains. It's just cold constantly. Yeah, Malta was nice and hot, and Belfast was the opposite, raining, cold every time.
How do you feel about after the success of the Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones became
What a
huge.
success!
Yeah.
Do you know what? Right,
Yeah.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I worked, so I did this. I shot, obviously. I worked for them, and then I think I watched 1 episode of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
That was when the dragon came down
Yeah.
and blew the wall. That's the only episode I watched.
Yeah.
But it's done really well. I mean, I've not read the books either, but I heard that the producers or the writers, I met the writers, but I know people who are avid fans of Game of Thrones said the writers sort of fucked it up a little bit towards the end. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not read the book, so I don't know. But they were like, they felt that the last season was very rushed and short and just shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what many of the audience are telling about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Apart from Game of Thrones, what are the series or films you acted?
Apart from Game of Thrones, I've done God, what have I done? Brave New World. They're all sex scenes. I don't do anything else. And then there's there's a Netflix series called The Girlfriend Experience. The Girlfriend, something like that. It's a Netflix series. So those are the 3 main ones. And I did some bits on a British thing. Was it American? It's a British, I think, called The Great. It's like a black comedy set in the olden times. So lots of sex and debauchery in it, them sort of things, and costumes, the old big dresses and the hair and the old-fashioned costumes. Yeah.
Okay. How you entered into the porn industry? How it happened?
How did I enter? Oh God, 2004. I have said this before, but I can say it again. I entered the industry in 2004. I was working full time, but I needed to make some extra money.
Okay.
So I used to work in the fashion industry as a clothing technologist. I left uni. I worked in that. I was living in London. I had debts coming out my ears. Or you owe the bank lots of money. So I needed to make some extra money, and that's how I got into it. I started doing solo stuff, and then in the UK they have these TV channels with the girls on that take the phone calls. They shake the phone. I did that. And then from there, I moved on to doing girl, and then boy, girl. And then I left my full-time job. So I was making more money on the TV channel. And then that's how I got into it.
Okay. How your family members reacted when you entered into the porn industry?
Oh, very badly. My parents are, they're Indian, also Muslim. It wasn't good. They didn't react very well at all. We didn't speak for a very long time. We started speaking again recently, especially with the COVID and the pandemic. And I rang them. I rang them to see how they were. Just because I hadn't spoken to them in such a long time. But yeah, they don't agree with what I do, so we don't discuss it really anymore. I mean, Asian families, ostracized. We don't have a daughter. I think that's what it was. We haven't got a daughter. We don't have a daughter. So, it's difficult, I think, sometimes. But you get used to it,
Okay, while shooting your first video, how was it like?
My first video, God, it's such a long time ago. I can't remember. I think my first girl. Like, I wasn't very good with solo, like just like by yourself and talk. When I first started, anybody, they'll tell you I wasn't very good. I didn't like the whole talking. It's very nerve-wracking. It was very nerve-wracking for me. Okay. I prefer to do like girl stuff because at least you've got somebody there. Then there's two of you, just not just one of you. Yes, I think that was fine. My first boy girl, I was a bit nervous because I hadn't done out of porn. Out of porn, I think my sex life is very limited. So my experience before, like when I got into porn, wasn't a lot. It was I had very limited sexual experience. I mean, I'd gone out, I dated, and I'm not saying I didn't have any sexual experience, but I did. But it wasn't probably as much as some other people have. But yeah, it was all good.
Okay, what's the average salary for a porn actress?
Average salary? Yeah. There is no average salary because you get paid per scene.
Okay.
So it's not like a yearly salary or whatever. So it depends how much you work. You get paid, if you're doing scenes, you're getting paid per scene. So it varies. Like in America, they get paid, well, when I was in America in 2005, 2005, 2006, a scene rate for a boy-girl scene, a normal boy-girl scene was up to like $900 one scene.
Okay.
And then in the UK, it varies £300 to. You have to negotiate these rates because people will try and get away with giving you as least as possible. And these days, the girls who are making the most money are the OnlyFans. All these platforms are now on OnlyFans. There are people on there, performers on there who are making a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Okay, have you ever been affected by cyberbullying?
Have I been affected by cyberbullying? I think not so much. I normally block people who bully me, because you're always going to get somebody. I mean, I'm lucky that I haven't had it so bad, but when you put stuff out there, you always get mostly guys, Indian guys, yeah. I think Indian guys have an idea in their head of how they want a woman to look, right? Yeah. And with Indian films and stuff, all the women are like slightly bigger, they've got big boobs. So when you're smaller and you haven't got as big boobs, I had some guys, I used to have put pictures of me on the internet, on my own Twitter, and then they'll highlight my boobs and they'll go, what is this? Is this a man? Is this a boy? I don't know what they got out of that, but it stopped now. This was like a couple of years ago. At one point, it was quite a lot. They'd be like, can't tell whether you're a boy, you're a man, you're a this and that because or get a boob job. I'm like, I'm all right. I'm okay with my boobs.
Yeah, that's a very sportive reply. Okay, I think this. Mia Khalifa received many death threats after she filmed a porn scene wearing a Muslim dress hijab. You know that, right? Oh
yeah. Do you know what, right? So I got to say, so when I first got into porn in 2004, right? I'm going to go back to where I am, right? People keep talking about Mia Khalifa, so I'm going to go back to where I am. I never used to shoot with the hijab. I never shot with the hijab. I only started shooting with the hijab recently. But when I got into porn in 2004, I used to get lots of death threats. Not because I wore hijab or anything, right? It's purely on the fact that I was Muslim.
Yeah.
Like people knew.
Okay.
I never hid the fact that I was Muslim, and on the forums and everything, I used to read them sometimes, and there were death threats everywhere. They'd be like, oh, somebody needs to go and find her, somebody needs to go and shoot her, somebody needs to do this, somebody needs to do that. And Mia Khalifa, she put the hijab on, she made herself very popular on the hijab. You know, for somebody, it's a really strange concept to me, because there's loads of content out there with female performers who are non-Muslim wearing a hijab, and they're making a name of it, whereas girls who are Muslim who wear the hijab don't get as much recognition even in the adult industry. So there are girls on OnlyFans. There's quite a lot of Asian Muslim girls on OnlyFans now. They might not show their faces, but there's a lot of hijabi content out there as well now. But it always seems to be like, if you're white and or non-Muslim and you put a hijab on, it gets more traction than somebody who is Muslim. It's a strange concept. But yeah, she did make a name off the hijab, and she did get death threats. But I think you have to be aware of certain things. You're always going to get a certain segment not like what you do. I still get people who don't like what I do. You know, somebody will say to me, oh, you're making fun of a religion, but to me, that I'm like, well, that is I might not be practicing, but that is the religion I was brought up in. So I'm not culturally appropriating anything. I grew up wearing a hijab, do you know what I mean? A scarf. You know, my mum used to insist I wear a scarf when I leave the house. We used to argue about it all the time. So, but yeah.
Okay, what's your advice for people you want to become a porn star?
What's my advice for people? Oh my God. I'm going to start talking now. Right, so I get lots of people who who email, lots of Indian guys especially, who all want to become porn stars. No joke, and they're all from India as well. Not that it matters. Most of them are from India.
Yeah.
And they all want to come to the UK to be a porn star, and they all want to live and they all say, oh, I'll come and live. You know, I say to them, well, you know, if you're going to come to the UK to do porn, you know, you can't just come and work here. You know, you have to have the visa, you have to have the health certificates, you have to have you know, a lot of production companies, there aren't many production companies in the UK shooting now. So everybody's shooting their own content for their own platforms. So you're better off staying in India, finding someone to shoot with and shooting for your own platform and becoming a star that way, and then you could become a porn star. But coming to India, they were like, oh, you could sponsor me. And I'm like, they want to come and live. Oh, you can sponsor me. I'll come and live with you. No, that's not happening. But you know, it's a hard industry. I'm not going to say it's not hard, right? For anybody, you have to be, what can I say? In the right mind. You have your mind frame has to be right. You know, you have to be strong-headed, strong-minded. You know, people are going to make fun of you. People are going to, I don't know. You might not like your hair, might not like your teeth, might not like. You know, you might be a bit fat. You know, people are going to look at you because when you put yourself out there, people feel that they can say whatever they want, and you know, you have to be able to accept that. I mean, not just say it, but some people can't, and they get very upset with it, and then they start making changes and whatever. So you've got to have a really thick skin. And two, with porn, you know, you've got to be for a guy, right? You've got to be good. Yeah. You know, you've got to be able to perform. It is about sex, right? But it's about performing for the camera. You know, you need to know the lights, you need to know the angles, you need to know how to show the girl off. You're not just fucking for the sake of fucking, yeah. And you know, I think some people think that you know, in the porn films, it's like they just fuck. But you know, there's so much stop and start and editing. Sometimes scenes take long, and then it's all edited together. You think, oh my God, that scene didn't go like that. But you know, it's seamless editing. Yeah. And yeah, it's hard. I mean, it can be fun, but you've got to put the work in. You know, it's like anything. You've got to work. I mean, girls who webcam, girls who do OnlyFans, they're working on them channels, on them platforms, like every day, 7 days a week, 12, 13, 14 hours a day to make the money. It's not you just do 8 hours and, you know, you're constantly on it. Yeah. You're constantly on them platforms. It's hard work, but hard work can pay off as well. You can, there are people out there, like I said, who on OnlyFans are making a lot of money. I know in India, I just provided lots of information to a journalist for XBiz, who's doing an article on porn in India. Not the legalities of porn, but this is just porn in India. Why the government isn't, why they try to ban it and stuff. Yeah, because the Indian government banned.
Yeah, banned it. They banned porn. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to ban porn because of morality and things like that around it. But I personally think it's also it's to do with that, but it's also I think there needs to be a lot more education in India. When I say India, I mean generally in the South Asian families at home, whether it's in India, whether it's in the UK, because Asian parents don't necessarily talk to their children about sex.
It's become a taboo topic here. Yeah.
Sorry?
It's become a taboo topic,
Yeah, so people don't talk about it. So the kids, you hear a lot in India that there's so many, rapes and this and that, and they try, the government is trying to blame it all on porn, like the accessibility of porn, that this is why it's happening. But I think there needs to be a lot more education surrounding sex, and also just teaching boys from a young age to respect women.
Yeah.
Just because a woman might dress a certain way doesn't mean that she's blah, blah, blah. If a woman is out at night there was an article I read that a mother was taking her kids home in India in the car, and I think her car broke down, and then she stopped to ask for help, and she was raped while her kids watched, right? And then the guys are like, well, she shouldn't have been outside. Well, women have to travel. Women, we can't sit at home. You don't go, oh, it's gone dark, we sit at home. Some people might want that, or women stay at home after 6 o'clock at night, it's gone dark now, stay at home. But, if you're a single mom, regardless, you're a mom working, or pick your kids up, go take them home. I'm sure there's lots of women who are working in India now. It's not women are staying at home, they're going to work and things. So women will be traveling back and forth, and it should be safe for women. Women should feel safe to travel.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's my thing. Look at me, I'm going a bit political here now.
Yeah, that's very nice. Okay, is there anything like you don't want to do that, but you did by compromising yourself while shooting a porn scene?
Have I ever done anything I haven't wanted to do in a porn scene? No.
No.
Do you know what, right? I haven't. No, honest to God, right? I haven't. I've done some scenes that have been very hard, like aggressive and whatever, but I've never done anything that I haven't wanted to do. Everything I've done, I've made a choice, but if I haven't liked it, I haven't done it again. Like in 2004, when I first started shooting, maybe 2005, I went with a friend of mine to New York, and we shot she's into bondage and fetish. And I was like, yeah, I hadn't done it. And I go, yeah, I'll go, whatever, right? And I went to New York for a week, and I did one day. It was so hard. Mentally, it was draining. It was very difficult, right? And they said to me, they were like, you don't have to do it, because they'd paid for the flights and the hotel and everything. They were like, you don't have to carry on, because we'd been booked for a week. They were like, you don't have to carry on. You just have to pay us back the flights and everything. Fair enough. And I was like, no, it's all right. I've come to work. I'll do the work. It's not a problem. That's the choice I made. So I would never blame them. I would never say, oh, they made me do this. No, they were very good. They actually said, look, you don't have to do it. You can take the whole week, go and do sightseeing, whatever. You just have to pay back the hotel and the flight fees that they paid, because they covered it on the basis that you were going to shoot. And I was like, no, it's all right. I'll just shoot the whole week. And my friend was there as well. She's into all that. She was fine. But it was hard. But I haven't done it again after that. I've done some more fetish, but I don't do it anymore. But apart from that, I haven't really done anything I haven't wanted to do. No.
Okay.
I just don't do it. I think also because I got into this industry a little bit older than some girls, I just sort of more or less say yes or no. I don't do this, I do that. That's it.
Yeah, okay. Tell about the life of a porn star, how it will be. what are the benefits and what are the problems
The
with
life of a
being
porn
able to-
star.
Yeah.
My life is very quiet. As a people think my life is very quiet. I'm going to dispel some myths. I did a podcast with this other comedy guy, and he was like dispelling some myths. People think that porn girls or male porn, whoever, right? There are some out there who do. But for me, right, I don't live a glamorous out there lifestyle. I'm not a party person. I don't do drugs or anything. So I get up, if I'm working, I spend most of my days, I go to the gym every morning, I come home, and then I might do some website work, I might do some admin work. If I'm shooting, then I go to shoot, and once I've shot, I come home. Once I get in, I chill out, I do all this, you get yourself cleaned up, and then I sit down and I have something to eat or make something to eat, and then I watch TV. There are parties, obviously. I don't mind. I do go to occasional parties, but I'm not a party person. There are people out there who like to party constantly. I think there's something there for everybody, whatever they wish to do.
Yeah.
But most females will tell you that once they've done a shoot, they go home and they just want to chill out.
Yeah.
If I'm not online anywhere, I'm not on cam, or if I'm not shooting, I'm at home in like pajamas, chilling, eating my Indian food. It's very hard to get good, decent. Where I live in England, in Kent, it's very hard to get good Indian food. You've got to make your own.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay, can you tell us one memorable funny moment that happened while shooting?
Memorable funny moment. No, I can't. I have. I'm so bad, don't I? At this. I don't have any. Do you know what? Right, I have no memorable or funny moments when shooting. No, not that I can. Do you know what? Nothing that I can recall or remember.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what I mean. I'm getting old now. I can't remember a lot of stuff.
Okay. Who's your favorite porn star?
For me, porn. Right, for me, it is work. So it's not. I don't use it as a lifestyle. So when I say, for me, it's like a job.
Okay.
I get up in the morning, I check all my emails, I go to the gym, I train, and I come back and I do some work. And if I'm shooting, I go and do some work, and then I come home. And once I'm not working, I don't sort of really do much with it. It's but it's fun. It can be a fun job. It can be a hard job sometimes. You have to work in. You have to be able to work in various environments. I'm going to say. I worked outside near a water where there was loads of flies everywhere. It was awful. The guy I was working with afterwards, he was bitten everywhere. He had bite marks everywhere. That's not good. I worked in Madagascar for private. It was too hot. It was on the beach. It was so hot. There was no shade. The guy burnt their penises. Like it was so hot. They got sunburned, and then you're sunburned constantly. There's nowhere to go to the toilets. You have to go behind bushes. Yes, such a glamorous lifestyle. Such a glamorous lifestyle. What are you doing? I'm on the beach behind a bush having to piss.
I think now people will get to know what are the problems.
I've worked in studios that is so hot, and you can't have the fan on, obviously, because they're shooting. Couple of weeks ago, I shot again in the studio. It was so cold. So, and you can't, because they're big studios, and even though they put the fans to heat them up, when you're shooting, you got to turn the fans off because they make too much noise. So when it's so cold, and for men, obviously, it's harder when it's cold. So if you're working with a guy and the scene's taking longer because the guy is then not struggling, but the cold is not allowing him to keep a hard on, you've got to stop, you've got to warm up again by the heater. And it's not all comfortable either. It's not all on a bed. You're sort of hanging off some little stool, or there are some bits of equipment that you positions, and you're on tables and on desks and on the floor, and some of the positions that you see, you know, pile driver, you know, where the girl's on her neck and upside down, her legs are overhead. That's really hard on your neck, man. You go, oh, got a neck ache coming on. Even for, you know, it's and then the man has to open and do. It's also no comfort in it. You know, you have to forget your comfort levels. You know, you just gotta just smile and go, oh yes, it's really good.
Okay. Who's your favorite porn star? Favorite?
I don't have one.
You don't have one.
Yeah. I do not have a favorite porn star. Do you know? Do you know something? Right? I didn't even watch porn.
Okay.
Before I got into porn.
Oh.
I hadn't watched porn. I never watched porn. I had not watched one single porn film or anything before I got into porn. I just got into it, and even now I don't watch it.
Okay.
The guy who does my filming said to me that you have to stop, at least watch your own things, so you learn how to edit properly, because you have to watch it to edit it. And I just get somebody else to edit. I am learning to edit, so I have to watch it, but I don't actually watch porn. It's not something. Yeah,
cool. Okay, what's your ambition apart from this?
What's my ambition?
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, it depends what you call ambition, doesn't it? Ambition is different. It's you know, to some people it's making money. Yeah. To some people it's living a comfortable life. Some people it's. I also currently do. I'm chairperson for an adult industry organisation called UCAP, which works to try to make the industry a safer place, a better place. You know, in regards to health and testing and just information that the industry requires to work, like the legalities and stuff. I think, you know, if and when I stop shooting porn, I'd like to do more on that side. I like to work with more on like the sexual health of performers, and you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay, have you seen any Indian films?
Have I seen any Indian films?
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was young, yes. Really, the old ones, you know, the 70s and the 80s, the old classic films.
Yeah, okay.
It was really weird in our household, right? Because my parents used to watch them, but they used to make us go to bed. They go, it's 9 o'clock, kids go to sleep now. So if you go to bed, and they used to watch them. My cousins used to be up on all the Indian films. That's my dad's brother's kids, because they were constantly watching them. So I never really watched them, but I have started. I don't really watch them. I don't watch them actually, but I have started watching some things purely because I'm trying to learn Hindi.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to learn. We spoke Gujarati at home, and then when you stop speaking a language, your language skills get very rusty. Like so, my Gujarati skills are very poor now. I understand Hindi and I understand Gujarati, but I can't speak it very well. So I'm trying to learn slang though, not like proper Hindi, like slang. So if I shoot clips and stuff, I can like people want to see some Hindi clips, but they send me stuff and I go, oh, I'll struggle to say that. Like there's too much. Just give me one line. I can say one line. So I'm trying to learn conversational Hindi with like slang words. So like the everyday guy, girl can understand. But I need to learn Hindi with naughty words, yeah, because you don't learn that online. You have to learn that from the person. You know, you have to speak to someone and they're telling you what the naughty words are, because if you try to do it online, it tells you all the proper words, like the proper pronunciations, and you're like, that's not it.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Which actor you like in India? Do you know any actors from this generation?
Do I know any actress from? I know actresses from old, like Rekha, Sri Devi, and that's it. And the old actors from old, Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah.
And, the other one who died recently. There's quite a few who've died recently. What's his name? If you name them, if you say some, I'll go.
Salman Khan.
Yes, and that Kapoor guy.
Yeah,
yeah. So I know the old stuff is good, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any idea about South India, Chennai people? Chennai, Tamil? Do you have any?
Do I have any ideas of Southern Indian people?
Yeah.
Apart from, do you know, I have been to Chennai.
Yeah.
When I used to work in I have, you know, I have traveled. When I was working in fashion,
Okay.
I used to work for a large retail company, and we had we used to come and see the suppliers. And they used to call, so we had for French Connection I used to work for, and I used to work in the head office there. Obviously, they had loads of suppliers in India, Delhi, Lucknow, Ludhiana, Chennai. I traveled around there, but that's the only time I've been to Chennai for work, factories. But it's mostly Tamil, isn't it? In Chennai? No, Chennai, South India. Is it Tamil more
Tamil.
language? Yeah,
Tamil language. Yeah.
And the food is a lot more spicier in very spicy compared to the north of Gujarat and stuff. Yeah, it's very spicy food. The language is Tamil, obviously. Yeah, it's very different to Hindi. Yeah? It is very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also have and they also have their own film industry, Tollywood.
Yeah. Bollywood. Yeah.
You have Tollywood, so I don't know why do they call it Tollywood for? Look, I'm speaking like an Indian. Sometimes I do this. It's really bad. Why do they call it Tollywood? I know it's really bad.
Tollywood is called for Telugu industry, like Hyderabad Telugu people. Chennai people have Kollywood.
With a C. Kollywood.
Yeah, Kollywood.
Hey, Kollywood. Right,
Yeah.
so you've got Bollywood, you've got Tollywood, you've got Kollywood, you've got
Mollywood.
Kollywood. Sounds very much like cauliflower, that does.
That's so many.
So what's the difference between Tollywood and Kollywood? What's the difference?
The language.
Oh, the language, okay.
Yeah.
So in Tollywood, they speak Tamil, no?
Telugu.
Telugu, that's it.
Yeah.
Telugu. Is that different to Tamil?
Yeah, it's almost different. Yeah.
There's a girl, there's a porn girl called Horny Lily, I think. She used to be on Pornhub. She's got a site somewhere. And I'm sure she does some clips. She does amateur stuff, but she does some clips in Tamil.
Oh.
Because it's very, very different. I was trying to understand. I was listening. So that's why I listen. I watch porn things to see the language and see what she's taught. Some she speaks Hindi and some.
Okay.
And then some she speaks Tamil, but I was like, okay, I don't understand that at all. It's very, very like Gujarati is different to Hindi, but there's some similar. Urdu is similar to Hindi, but some difference. But Tamil and Telugu is
Very different. Very much different.
very different. Yeah, it'd be very hard to learn.
Okay. Now there's a task for you. Can you speak few words in Tamil? I will teach you some Tamil movie famous dialogues. You just repeat it.
Okay, what words are you going to tell me to say?
Famous stars dialogues. No, like
Famous stars in
Tamil industry.
I don't know any famous stars in Chennai, but you tell.
I will
I
tell.
don't know any.
Yeah, I will tell. You just repeat it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is from superstar Rajinikanth.
Superstar who?
Rajinikanth.
Ajay Khan.
Rajinikanth.
Rajin Khan.
Yeah, Rajinikanth. Okay. நான் ஒரு தடவை சொன்னா 100 தடவை சொன்ன மாதிரி.
I tell you what I heard.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay, I will say. Wait down. Okay.
Slow down. Say
Yeah.
one word at a time.
Yeah, okay. நான்
Na
ஒரு
ore
தடவை
na ore
தடவை
tereve
சொன்னா
na tere tough. So na. What's next?
100 தடவை சொன்ன மாதிரி.
Okay. Start again. Say the first word.
நான் ஒரு தடவை சொன்னா
No, slow down. Na oreve tereve
சொன்னா
sonna
100
nur
தடவை
dareve
சொன்ன மாதிரி. சொன்ன மாதிரி.
sonne mari.
Yeah.
That's the worst pronunciation. It's very
Yeah, it means if I tell once, it means I said it like 1,000 times.
Yes, I know that saying. I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. Maybe I should start learning some what was that? Telugu? Tamil. Maybe I should start like get some words from you, like single words every week. and do a little video on my Twitter and go, say the word
Yeah.
and say the meaning. Say the word, say the meaning. That'll be fun.
Okay, next one is from Kamal.
Next one's from Kamal, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
கண்ணு
yeah, kanne,
வேணும்னு
yeah, kanne, vengumine,
வேணும்னு
vengumine,
வேணும்
neru,
வேணும்
venu. Okay, let's say that again. Single word.
Yeah.
First word
ஏன்
with a Y. Yen,
ஏன் கண்ணு
yen, kanne,
வேணும்னு
venumine,
கேட்டியாமே
ketiame. Now that's something to do with, I think, I see, because you did that with your eye. What does it mean? I see
like-
you. I see you once, I see you 100 times.
It's like you asked my eyes.
You ask my eyes.
Yeah, it's like a warning to some bad boys.
Oh, you ask my eyes. Oh, is that meant to be like, I see you, I see you?
What?
That's all in English. Like, you know, you've translated into English to say, I see, you see my eyes.
Mm.
So it's like, if you're in England, would you say to them, I see you, yeah?
Okay.
Because you wouldn't say, like, if some bad boys were here standing there, I wouldn't go, you see my eyes?
Okay, next one is very simple.
Okay, very simple, yeah?
It's from Ajith Kumar.
Ajit Kumar, okay.
தெரிக்க விடலாமா
That's not simple.
தெரிக்க
Teritke
விடலாமா
with a llama.
Yeah.
That sounds like Teritke with a llama.
Yeah,
What-
that's it.
Teritke with a llama.
Yeah, it's like can we have a blast like that?
Oh, okay. Can we have a blast? Teritke
விடலாமா
with a llama. With. That sounds with.
And the last one from Talabadi Vijay.
Who?
Talabadi Vijay.
Dalaburi Vijay.
Yeah, Vijay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Vijay. Okay.
வாழ்க்கை
Vaike.
ஒரு
Vaike ru.
ஒரு
Oh, Vaike ur.
வட்டம்
Vaike ur vaddam.
வட்டம் டா
Is it V or A? Attam
V,
or vattam?
வட்டம்
V.
Yeah.
Vaike ur vattam
da.
da. Da.
Yeah, come
Is that
tell
with a D?
the sentence.
Va-
வாழ்க்கை
Start again.
வாழ்க்கை
Valke.
ஒரு
Valke ur vattam da.
yeah super
Valke u vattam da.
ஒரு வட்டம் டா life is a
Okay.
circle.
Valke ur vattam da. What does that mean?
It means life is a circle.
It's a circle.
Yeah, life is a circle.
Okay. Like it's a circle. Okay.
Yeah.
Valke ur vattam da.
Yeah.
Okay, got that one.
These are
Got that one
some,
better than the others.
these are some famous dialogues from Tamil industry, from huge stars.
These are famous actors in the Tamil industry.
Yeah. Okay.
How big is it though? Is it big compared to? Is it the same size? It's not as big as Bollywood. So is it like
Yeah,
but as big?
Yeah, that much big. Yeah, it have some competing. Yeah.
Oh, it's competition, yeah.
Yeah.
Do people in Chennai prefer to watch Tollywood or Collywood
Yeah,
or Bollywood?
we watch every films. Yeah.
So in South India, the TV, is it the language? Is it mostly Tamil or is it
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Hindi?
It's Tamil.
It's mostly Tamil.
Yeah.
Tamil TV. Okay,
That's it, man. Super. Thanks for giving an interview for our channel. Really
that's okay. We got there finally. Took
Yeah.
a while. Maybe I'll come to you to learn some Hindi. You speak Hindi?
No.
Maybe I'll come to you to learn. Come to you to learn some basic
Tamil.
Tamil, Telugu, and then I'll do little videos of the one word and the meaning. Like my eyes see you. Like, do you know what? In any language, like even in Gujarati or Hindi, when you translate it into English, it's always like like
funny.
I've got a friend who does it with Welsh language.
Okay.
Because Welsh have got their own language as well, and so in England, obviously you've got English. Welsh people do speak English, but they've also got Welsh, which is very different.
Okay.
It's very different to English. So she does it like a weekly thing. She'll do like a word and then tell the meaning of it. And my other friend was explaining to me, and I go, that doesn't make sense. Because the word sounds something, and then the meaning of it's completely different. But yeah, the Welsh have their own language as well.
Yeah, okay.
It's got a shorter alphabet. So yeah. Something new for you.
Yeah. Again, thanks very much. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I know it's late there now, so have a good evening.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
ஸோ தரமான வீடியோஸ் பார்க்க சப்ஸ்கிரைப் டு பியர்ட் பேர்ட் ஸ்டுடியோஸ்.
அப்புறம் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, மறக்காம சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணி பக்கத்தில் இருக்க பெல் ஐக்கானை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க.